Cam Newton now is doing a bunch more interviews, and I think they're now getting pushed. Shannon, this might have been a plan attacked on you, dog.
It might have been. You know what's crazy is, to your point, right? Push and not being pushed.
Yeah.
The only difference between the great pods and the pods that's not great,
money.
It's the money behind them. That's it. It's
money,
like
the set. Like if we had $1 million right now, the production would get different. The cameras would get different. The setup would get different.
Where would we end up on the podcasting list if we had $1 million behind us right now? Like who would we end up above?
The Pivot.
Oh yeah, that's easy. Like,
yeah, that's easy.
No offense to the Pivot.
No offense to sorry. Brian, I still like you. But like that's getting smoked. Like, yeah, we'd probably be in the top at least. Oh, especially when I get to get jokes off and I could be as funny as I want to, probably at least top 40.
Yeah, I think
but
so.
like they getting smoked. What's my other people? Nice and Neat, smoking y'all boots.
Oh yeah, yeah. That
with what's his name? The dude
I knew talking about
painting their nails. Smoked.
Yeah.
Boots is smoked.
I think we'd be up there.
Smoked.
I think we'd be at the top.
Smoked.
Like real talk. I don't really think anybody would be better.
Y'all next.
So
we got y'all little cousins out the way.
Shoot us some loot, man. Shoot us some production. We don't need you to shoot us loot. Just put us on the platform and push us.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
And then send the money. Well, we'll go out there.
We're going to get the money.
Absolutely. But anyway, here's an amazing clip by K. Michelle.
I'm looking at a successful black man that has the ability to literally turn the narrative on black family. You know? Mm-hmm. And my grandfather, I watched my uncles and everything. My whole family, they're married. I'm not the girl who didn't see what a man creating a black family is supposed to be. So I'm asking right now, black men, I got to tell my black men to really step up for black women and create families.
Yeah.
It's really not cool. Black men are attacking black women. And it's not cool. They're not creating homes. We're witnessing city girls. We're witnessing this and that. And it's like the genders are doing this.
Clashing.
It is really destroying families. Being a country singer, if you are a singer in country music, you're a man. If you are not married, it is not respected. Family is respected in country music in that space. But in our space, we are singing about side chicks. We are glorifying a lot of women. That's not what happens in Nashville. You can't call a woman a bitch in Nashville because they'll never even listen to your music.
Whoever set K. Michelle on that side of the couch, congratulations on you. That was smart. It's got to do with her part and how you sit people in lighting. That's all. It's just a whole technical thing. Where you want to start with this?
Well, I mean, that's K. Michelle.
Shout out.
College educated. Actually, Miss FAMU. I don't know a lot of people know that.
She went to FAMU?
Yeah, K. Michelle was actually Miss FAMU.
Shout out to FAMU getting that Trump supporter as the new president. They tore y'all up in the comments, but go ahead.
So a lot of what she's speaking on, she really, really knows. Funny enough, actually know somebody that went to state when she was at FAMU.
Okay.
And they were like, yo, she was really talented, like in real life. They were like, she was like killing every talent show they had down there.
I mean, she can sing.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful
big ups to K. Michelle being a normal person that became a super celebrity.
Yeah.
But like people that went down there actually know and say she is as dope as she presents herself to be. So, typically you don't really hear that.
There. Oh, you don't.
Yeah,
But we've always
celebrity.
known. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've always known K. Michelle to be down to earth because I remember before she got popping, before Love and Hip Hop, she used to always do radio interviews in Charlotte. And it was always like, she always presented herself as, I'm the dope, down to earth country chick.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So, and this isn't me bigging her up because I'm about to kick her back in, by the way.
Oh, really? I'm taking her side.
But low key.
I love K. Michelle. I got you.
Low key part of the problem is, like she's like, yo, black men need to come back and do a better job. And I'm going to say, when you looking at top third of black men, it ain't on them.
Yeah, but if the 66 can do more damage than the...
We've given up, right? I don't think people understand that. Like, there is a tactical retreat that men are saying, I can't do anything in this community. You can't keep asking me to lead. And then every time I show up during election season saying, hey, we need to do this, you like, shut up, right?
Okay.
Every time I'm talking about, what we need to do in the schools, you like, hey, shut up. When I talk about how I need to have access to my children, you're like, no, the moms need to have their children, right? Men that can get out of that environment are going to get out of that environment. It is the environment that we have right now is exactly what she said it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the only option, the only reprieve that women would have, right, is if women themselves would stop having children with the bottom third of black men. That's the only fix.
Well, or the flip side of that is, or the bottom third of black men stop having kids.
Yeah, but I mean, they already are terrible decision makers.
I know, and I mean,
yeah.
That's any community. The bottom third of any community are terrible decision makers. So if we get into that, the bottom third of black women is bad decision makers, the bottom third of black men. I like her take because she's right. If black men made up their minds today, hey, we are not, and this is what she's asking. She's not saying, hey, let's segment y'all from top, middle, third, because she's not doing that for them either.
Yeah.
What I like her saying, hey, if y'all decide today we are no longer having children that are not our wives, everything changes in our community. 100%.
It changes with the men that are already disciplined. The undisciplined man is not going to change.
But and so I'm not getting on her point on that. I'm getting on her point. I'm sticking on her point. Her point
is salient, right? It's correct. Like I'm not saying that she's wrong.
So that's why I'm not mad at her.
Yeah. Like, no, like she's not wrong. Part of the problem in the black community is broken homes. Like, even though we're fathers, we still have broken homes.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, in our community, right? Even though we father, that is part of the problem. It's destroying our wealth. We've had this conversation. This is a 6-year conversation now.
That's why I love this conversation because we said this episode 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, oh, I stand with her. I like it. Unfortunately, though, like we had this conversation pre-production yesterday. I was like, yo, unfortunately, this is all a planned attack on every side of the fence.
It is. And like she said, right? Country music, you got to be married to be respected. In the business world, if we're being honest, you got to be married to be respected. In the church, you got to be married to be respected, right? But when we try to have this conversation in our community, right? It's like, you ain't got to be married. Girl, you be 39 and single and chase your career.
Yes.
You know, guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you ain't got to be out here with, it's red pill, right? You ain't got to be out here with these women taking your money, taking your resources. Dudes don't want to take care of women anymore, right? Not understanding that, right? When you have the egalitarian situation, it ends up being unbalanced towards a matriarchal, type scenario. So we're not in a place in our community, honestly, where we can have a conversation to say, this, and this will fix our community. It's an easy fix in our community. Stop having babies out of wedlock. Vote at a 90% clip. You do those two things, we probably fix half of our problems in a decade.
Yeah. I that's why I love her part. But like for me, if men today said, yo, not having no more kids outside of my wife, and let's say it is a black wife, let's even go a step further. What ends up happening is the music automatically changes. You don't get a Planet Sexy Red out here.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get that, right? You don't get a Planet. Well, he wasn't even Planet. He was just a young boy who decided to murder 2 people and write a song while he on the race.
Yeah.
Shout out to TK. You know what I'm saying? Who got 100 and something years. You don't get that. You don't get those 2 kids, right? You don't get the reality shows that, unfortunately, this is what I didn't like about what K. Michelle said. And maybe this is all chopped up, by the way, on the TikTok, but K. Michelle is part of the problem. She was a part of an era that I think did my generation in. I have said that because when we was in college, it was cool to be on reality shows showing your ass.
And again, right, we were used.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm saying my generation.
Yeah. Like we and I say we, I'm talking as black people, we were used, right?
Absolutely.
The degenerate music came through us, right? There, to her point, right? It's not many degenerate country songs calling women bitches.
Yeah.
Right?
Facts.
But that in our music, though, it's a thing, right? Is it not even a thing? It's a theme.
Yeah.
in our music, right? So it's like we're being used, right? And a part of this is because our older generation, our boomer generation, didn't own shit, right?
Yeah.
They got in, they made the money that they could make. They elevated to the top 1%, 5% of the country, and then they sold it off, right?
Yeah.
So all of our influence that we have, we don't own it.
Yeah, but it's even deeper than that. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's the music, it's the reality show that did my generation in. It's the drugs that did your generation in, right? It's the government assistance plus the drugs that did your generation in. And now it's just trickling down. And now we do get to say, hey, we're going to make AI music and let them run wild with it. We're going to let them get content off. You know, my biggest laugh now is OnlyFans trying to sell, right?
Yeah.
And all these people are scared because they like, what happens when this company gets sold to somebody else? You think that they're going to let y'all still own your content?
Yeah, no, you're not going to own your content. They're going to charge more money.
And it's like, you know, it's like, dang.
They're going to change the rules to where they can use your content in perpetuity.
Absolutely.
Right?
And
so
you cooked.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's so much going in. But I wish she could fix it. But that ain't where this all stops because she came at Cam a little bit later. And shout out to Cam. I don't know if you be just sitting there or whatever. Oh, damn, I gotta find the thing. This ain't it. This ain't it at all. Hold on. Come on, Mike. Hold us over while I figure this out. Where the hell you put it at? No.
You got to clip all this out in the middle.
Oh, no. If y'all knew, you know, this goes back to the part of The Rock saying how Vince McMahon told him to go see how the backside of the business go. If you knew how much editing it took to clip out 10 seconds, you'll be like, Gavin, don't clip that. I just talk over you next time. Look, and if you don't know that clip, please go listen. It's when Vince McMahon told Dwayne The Rock Johnson, if you want to raise, go work with the finance department.
Yeah.
And he came back after he told him, he said, it might take you 3 months to understand. Dwayne Johnson said it took him 2 weeks. And he came back and said, I just take your original offer because I understand it. And he said, nah, you actually gonna make $15 million this year instead of $1 million since you understand the business. I promise you, now you've learned enough how to make it. So if y'all knew how much it takes to edit this shit.
Well, but I think the clip you about to pull up is when K. Michelle is speaking to Cam about creating the broken home.
Yeah, I got it.
And we've already.
Well, I mean,
so once I started talking, Gavin now has the clip. So
I had it.
I'm trying.
Oh, we good. Now you can. Okay, here we go.
Do deserve.
Let's start this.
Our children do deserve a 2-parent household. The reality is that's just not how it worked out. Now, the guilt in me feels that
You have a guilt.
when you hear it, there can be a guilt that happens. It's like
right
you
there.
create broken homes.
You got a guilt.
I can't do nothing about that now. But what I can do is try to make my wrongs right. I do that by showing up constantly. I have certain things that I do with my children specifically that's our thing.
But what about now and having new kids and creating, is that a goal of yours? And you don't have to answer to anybody.
No, ask the question that you're asking.
You want me to ask you a real question?
Please. Go there.
Okay. Well,
Cam just done lean into it.
I did
Big ups on that.
see that your significant other now is having
Another.
another
Children.
one. Is your goal to create? I think everyone would like to know, is your goal right now to create a 2-parent home for your child that you already have and your new child? Is that the goal? Because you do skate around that. From everything that I've watched, you do kind of skate around that.
We got
Is the goal. What is the ultimate goal right now in your dating and having kids?
Every situation that I've ever been in, I thought this was the last one.
Okay.
So to answer that question, do I plan on moving on after her? No.
Okay.
The plan has always been, even with the first, the second, the third, is nobody goes into a situation and
But
say,
you know, you've never said that. Like I've said before I come somewhere, because I was talking about
what
talking
baby
to
mama
you.
Cam on now? Is this a second or a third?
It's got to be his third, and she on her second. Because I think didn't she wear that dumbass tee where it was like third, like she was making jokes at it.
Oh yeah. She was. Yeah.
This is what happened when the baddies sit down in front of y'all and you interviewing them, and they decide to interview you, and you have to give her the space to be like, yeah, ask your question. You know good and well you don't need to be answering none of them questions.
Yeah, but
asking it.
K. Michelle is smart though. He has 3 baby mamas.
Yeah.
Look, what I didn't like what Cam said was you never go in with the intentions, and it's like, no, I'm gonna agree with you. That's true. When you meet somebody, you do not expect to fall out of love. But if you talk to any married couple that's been married for an extended period of time, falling in love over and over again is something that happens.
Facts.
So you have to have that discipline of, one, either I want to be there, or two, I realize this is not for me, right? And what that affects is the children. The children do not ask to be here, all right? Ask to be here, right? I know y'all be in the comment section. I ask.
They be tearing me up for that. I'm like, yo, leave me alone.
So the kids aren't the ones that are making themselves here. We're bringing the kids here. As a man, you should not want to bring kids into broken homes, right? Even if that broken home is, like in my situation, right? It's a divorce, right? And even when I go back through and be like, all right, could I have stayed? Would I have stayed? What was the right decision to stay, right? And every time I ask myself that question, I'm like, no, I made the right decision, right? But the place where I would have been able to fix that would have been prior to having children, right? Or having a child, right? That's where you fix it. And I think when men make excuses and say, well, of course I didn't plan for that to happen. Well, if you're not with the right type person, you low key planning for that to happen. And if you're not taking your time to really get to know the person before you decide to have children with them,
Facts.
You kind of planning for that to happen.
Yeah, and I don't like when a lot of the athletes get women pregnant and they still think that woman's going to deal with your BS. Yeah. And I say that to say, everybody know I used to work at a hotel where all the teams play and dudes get their rocks off. And sometimes when your girl she ain't there, y'all ain't got no kids, she might, because of the benefits of being with you, she might excuse certain. Because maybe you do tell her like, yo, we're going to talk about Diddy in a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Diddy was very open. What's coming out in this case is that Diddy was very open with telling people, hey, I'm going to mess around. I'm going to do my thing. I mean, for goodness sake, you got Young Miami holding up a sign and the other chick is having your baby. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't heard from her, mentioned her since, right? So we know that type of stuff comes on. But sometimes once you do get that woman pregnant and now she got to start thinking about her baby, a baby that you're not around, let's say the most for, she might say, hey, I'm not willing to put up with this. And sometimes dudes go in there knowing like, yo, all right, she's still going to stick around because I'm paying X, Y, and Z. But I'm sure Cam's financial state now is a lot different from when he was doing the dad.
Yeah. And now, not only is it different, but I mean, how much money are you spending? Like, how much money is going out of your home?
Yes.
When you have 3 different homes that you need to take care of versus one home to take care of. I don't care how rich you is. Like, you're going to look at those numbers
and be like, what's going on? My favorite joke is Lou Will said he couldn't afford his 2 girlfriends after he got out the league.
Yeah. It's a thing. So it's like, women want to be taken care of and children have to be taken care of. So, and we have to stop looking at athletes and saying, or just rich men in general, right? Entertainers and athletes, seeing them make these type of decisions and think that it's okay, right?
Facts.
Like one of the terms that everybody loves now is, right, high value man. Cam is a rich man, right? I can't say he's a high value man. I can't say he's a value.
Yeah.
Outside of him just being a great athlete, right? Love watching him play football. Changed how we saw, big athletic quarterbacks. But, there is a lack of discipline here that we have to acknowledge. And we as men should, look, kids happen, right? Like, I have not had any other children. I don't think I have any children before my son.
Golly.
No, I'm just saying, right? Because you say something, and then 20 years later, you're like, where did this come from?
Mark Lamont Hill.
Yeah, right. So I mean, I'm giving caveat. I'm giving grace for what I don't know, but for everything that I do know, it's like there's a practice in order to get here. And like I could slip up. I could mess around and have a kid 9 months from now. Yeah. And it's like, but it's I won't excuse it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I still have to be like, yo, that's a mistake. Like that should not have happened. I am not married to your mother. And
then Mike definitely leaving the pod after that.
No.
Because he not having no kids in this country, so
I'll send money. I'll send money until I can go down there. I'll pull a Cam news.
I don't know why.
Knock on wood, man.
Please don't do that to us. The whole pot will be over. Look, man. So certain decisions I make now, I'm like, if this came out, the pod would not do well. This will stop us. This will stop us our ascension right here. So let me not do this.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Certain things you just can't do, man.
Yeah.